Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. For this one, I'll be covering 3 more decks that are amazing for climbing this patch. There's like a week and a couple days left before the new expansion, so now is the time to finish up your climb with these decks. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. That way you have a good understanding of what's strong, whether you want to play the best decks themselves, or if you want to know how to counter them. Let's see what these strong decks are, shall we? Welcome to Meta Report. And the first deck I have for you is a control deck that has been rising in popularity recently, Heimer Norra. Coming in with a win rate of 52.33% and a play rate of 4.09%, it is a decent balance of played a lot while also preserving a pretty good win rate. Its best matchups include Shen Jarvan, which is a very popular deck, Zed Gwen, another very popular deck, Formidables, and also Formidables with Udyr. Its worst matchups are Set Volibear, Poro King, Riven Gwen, and also Seraphine Janna. So yeah, this is a very typical Bandle City Shadow Isles control deck. It is utilizing Norra and also Heimerdinger as its champions. We've seen this deck before with like Norra Veigar, we've seen Veigar Heimer, like pretty much any of these combinations do work. So yes, we're going to be abusing the single target removal from Shadow Isles and Bandle, while also double dipping on the Bandle value of swarming the board with portals. It is a resource-based control deck that wants to just out-resource the opponent, keep summoning dudes and generating more cards while the opponent runs out of steam. So to do that, we have Bird in the early game, giving a nice +1/+1 boost to something in our hand. Ideally, we hit Norra, that's like best case scenario, but there's obviously lots of good units to hit. Triple Pie Toss to whittle down the opponent's board in the early game. Really strong card because you get to double dip and get a second removal card. Quietus, of course, very strong Shadow Isles removal, be able to kill pretty much anything in the early game or destroy equipment. Conchologist, which is a good blocker in the early game, while also generating a new card from our regions, which are more control tools and draw cards, cringe stuff like that. Triple Glimpse Beyond, speaking of draw card, reactive tool, use this when your unit is going to die anyways, and then get to draw 2. Hate Spike, pretty much the same thing. If your unit is going to die, you can use Hate Spike to deal 3 to something. You can be proactive with this card as well if the opponent taps out and you really want to deal 3 to something. Junk Construct, early game unit that also gives you a resource later. Basically draw into a portal and get a free 2 or 3 cost follower. Hooray! Norra, which is the portal synergy champion, she is a 2/1/2 with elusive. Next to strike, plant a portal in the top 4 cards of your deck. That's all she does, so you want to be getting that down early. You know, as soon as attack 2 rolls around, you have Norra. Maybe she's even buffed up with the bird, and then it's just kind of OP. She hits Nexus a couple times, and then you summon a bunch of dudes over the course of the game, and then her portals allow you to summon 4-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop, or 7-drop followers instead of 2 and 3. Next we have Soul Harvest, which is another very good single target removal option from Shadow Isles. Kill a follower with 3 or less power, or spend 1 more mana to kill a champion with 3 or less power. Obviously very good in the early and mid game. Use this to take out priority champions. Next we have Heimerdinger, turning our spells into unit pressure as well. 5 mana 2/4. When you play a spell, create a fleeting turret in hand with equal cost. It costs 0. So this isn't like Heimer Jace where we only care about getting elusive turrets. As long as you're playing any turret, so like any of the spells are very valuable. Like at the 2-drop, the 1-drop, pretty much anything comes up 5. And we do have the 6 cost as well, so we are getting the elusive turrets, but it's not like the primary win con or anything like Heimer Jace was. So yeah, Heimerdinger is going to be getting those out. And what's really broken about this is that each turret you summon counts as a created ally for Norra. So as you're getting Heimer turrets out, Norra is also turbo leveling in deck. So if you have one on board, really broken. You keep one in hand, she can come down leveled, then you draw and you get a bunch of high value portals. It's really strong. So Heimerdinger is going to be, yeah, summoning any amount of these in the early game. You have like the pie ones. These are your second pie plus also your soul harvest. And then, you know, we do have the 6 cost spells like Vengeance and Eclectic, so we can get to our elusive turrets, which is very broken. So that's what Heimer's trying to do. Heimerdinger needs to see you summon 12 plus power of tech allies, and then he'll level, which gives them extra buffs in hand. So instead of like a 6/1 Floor Begone, it'll be a 7/2 elusive, which makes it a little bit more annoying. So yeah, Heimer's going to be spamming those, and he himself is a bit tankier as well. Next, we have Portal Palooza, which is a draw card that also plants portals in the top 4 cards of your deck. Pretty much just does everything that you want it to. Helps you get ahead in the resources, because if you hit 1 or 2 of the portals, then yeah, you're definitely just outpacing the opponent, especially since you draw, and you can draw reactive removal, keep the opponent's strategy down while you're summoning a bunch of like little dudes. So yes, very, very good. Eclectic Collection, 6 mana burst speed spell. For each ally that's on your board, plant a mysterious portal and 3 chimes in the top 10 cards of your deck, but also plant a flash bomb trap and 3 puff caps in the enemy deck. So this is just a very stacked card that puts boons everywhere. You get very positive ones and the enemies get very negative ones. So at any point you're going to draw and get some portals down, and the opponent's going to draw and the flash bombs are going to hurt their board, while you are still just pushing your resources forward. Next, we have Triple Vengeance, of course, single target Shadow Owl's removal spell. Heimer loves seeing this. It's also just very, very strong. Straight up kill a unit. And our last card is our panic button, Ruination, kill all units. So this is going to be played even if you have a bunch of dudes on the board, if you're in a very, very bad position. So like, let's say the opponent still is playing champion strength and has a very developed board, invest a lot of mana into it, well then you can Ruination and just reset and try to outvalue from there. So really good as a last ditch effort. And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context to why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. And for the example game, we have Seraphine Set, which I believe is like a variation of a bad matchup for us. So that is going to be a little annoying. We do have Norra, she's going to die to Mystic. We have Vengeance, Hate Spike, Glimpse. Versus PNZ, I like to keep the reactive cards. So we probably keep Glimpse and probably pitch the Vengeance. Hate Spike is like fine. I'm down to pitch it as well and just use Glimpse Beyond on their Mystic Shot target. Try to go for some other early game cards. If we hit Bird, that would be fantastic. Junk is also great. And we're on both champions, so that feels pretty good. We can kind of just play back and then set up like a really big eclectic turn. Might be super good for us. Medium, yep. Updraft to draw makes sense. Let's play Junk. I don't want to get Norra down early because she's so susceptible to the Mystic and the High Note. They don't want to swing, makes sense. We want to swing, so we can go ahead and... Actually, we could play Norra. Maybe bait the Mystic now. We have Hate Spike and we have the Glimpse. Hate Spike is actually low-key really good because of the extra HP. Yep, there's the High Note. Let's respond with Hate Spike here. Try to take out the medium. That way we have Junk Construct going in. And then we have a Husk for our Heimer. Oh, and it's a Spell Shield Husk. Now that is just broken. If we top deck another Norra, that's going on her. If not though, then we'll just put it on Heimer. And then we'll start winning through turret pressure maybe. That would be ideal. Alright, what you got? Because it looks like we're burning 1 mana unless they give me a reason to Quietus or Glimpse. Yep, Clock. Well, hey, that's giving me a reason to Quietus. I do not mind that at all. That actually seems really good for us. So we can slam that real quick. Goodbye, Yep, Clock. And then we have Heimer and 3 mana to work with. Asya. I might want to even open attack here, just to get the extra 2 damage in. Because if they play Set, I don't know if I swing into it. Maybe I do. Maybe it's fine to save the Junk Construct to get blocked by something. That way we could be on like a Hate Spike target as well. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's play Heimer. Yeah, this seems like incredibly not chill to have Spell Shield Heimer with 5 HP versus PNZ. Medium, yes. Go ahead and swing. Okay, we're gonna get that, sure. Because I was thinking if they played Set, we could probably do some kind of like cheeky Hate Spike play at some point. Looks like we just get that, nice. I mean, I'm down to Hate Spike. You think I'm not? Ooh. Ah. No, we can pass for now, it's okay. Now, let's get this Heimerdinger pumping. Alright. I think we should. We do Bird Eclectic. That feels pretty nice. Bird Eclectic is 7 mana. That gives us 2 more to work with, so I guess that just makes sense. Bird. Bird. That's a nice Eclectic, all things considered. Or I could play it like big T-Rex as well, right? That also draws 3. That's pretty nasty. And then next turn Eclectic. That doesn't sound too bad either. This is the only Heimer. Yeah. Let's do that. We hit another Heimer, so that's going to be like a 7 mana Progress Day. That's kind of cool. Yeah, next turn might be pretty illegal for us. Maybe just a little bit. I really like the idea of getting the turrets down and then playing Eclectic. That's probably blunder to break the spell shields. And then they're gonna do like Hexbliterator or something next turn on Heimer, if I had to guess. Yep, that is what it looks like. Okay, so we're going into turn 7 here. So what really sucks is I think I still have to spend... Oh no, I don't. Interesting. Kill a follower 3 or less power or spend 3 mana to kill a champion. I can spend 2 mana? Oh, that's really interesting that it keeps that. Based on wording, you would think that the discount does not work. The text would override it, but hey, that's pretty interesting. Let's do... I want to do Eclectic ASAP. I don't know how I'm going to get that done. You know? So that means I can't do Soul Harvest on Seraphine because that leaves me with 5 mana this turn, which is a bit annoying. I mean, it could be Eclectic right away. Just have a grand old time with that, yeah. That levels up my Heimer. So now if they do have Hexbliterator, that's fine. My next Heimer in hand will already be leveled. I think that's very high value for us. We can also respond with 1 mana Hate Spike if they do Hexbliterator. Yeah, I think this is our best course of action. Alright, I mean, fair enough. Let's do Hate Spike then. We take those. Now we have a bunch of portals, chimes, they have a bunch of flash bombs, puff caps. Overall, just feels kind of good. We can have an elusive wrench bot. Yo, why not? Sounds good to me. That sounds fantastic. And then we're going to full send it with everything except for Heimerdinger, right? Sets. Okay. I think we're chilling. Get chump blocked, do a bunch of damage. Makes sense to me. Seraphine's pretty far from leveling. Set is pretty far from leveling as well. What's this set even gonna do to me? That's my question. I don't think he's gonna do much. Alright, we got some draw. One flash bomb.
I saw you looking at me.
Alright. Yeah, we'll let that go through. Sounds great. Now, what we do is Soul Harvest and hit that Seraphine. Go ahead and clean that up. And then as a response, we get Notify. Very interesting. It's 1 mana Notify as well. That was generated from Yep Clock. I would like to try that again, though. All things considered. And I'd also like to try to kill that set this turn, too. If we can. So 3 mana for Soul Harvest, and 2 mana for Hate Spike. I know, second Seraphine, interesting. Let's go ahead and do Hate Spike on our higher HP target. It is in fact dying. Target the set. That way we kill him as a response. Then we need our 3 mana for Soul Harvest this turn, which is why I could not Glimpse as well on the stack. Unless I just want to replay Heimer. Replaying Heimer is pretty chill too, but I think I want to kill her while they don't have protection mana. We can play Heimer first action next turn. All good. Definitely all good there.
I did my best.
Yeah, no recalls, no buys, no denies. Besides, this gives us a pretty nasty open attack too. Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm just gonna full send. Play Heimer after. A lot they have to deal with, but they have like Hex Splitterators and Concussive Palms and stuff. Concussive the 8/7. No, alright, we got it. Let's go! For the next one, we have a repeat guest to Meta Report, and that is Jax Ornn. Coming in with a win rate of 53.73% and a play rate of 2.43%, it is doing as solid as ever. Its best matchups include Seraphine Janna, Teemo Kate, Norra Bard, and also Yuumi Poro King. The worst matchups are Set Volibear, Ashe LeBlanc, Karma Set, and Barrier Boys. So this is the 5th time that I am covering Jax Ornn on Meta Report. It is pretty much a staple at this point. It's utilizing all the same tools that I covered last time, so I'm not going to go super in-depth. We have the early game Weapon Master stuff, we have the early game stats that we really care about. Freljord is still a very strong region, with Omenhawk and Sky Splitter being in their current state. Jax is a really good tool to use with all of these really broken effects. We have Flash Freeze in here, which is a bit new. We have the Pioneer coming in, and we have Wild Claw's Ferocity being cooked up in this variation on Runeterra AR. If you don't really like the Wild Claw's Ferocity or the Flash Freeze, you can still very much do Harsh Winds plus Buried in Ice, play a little bit more defensive, and you'll be good. But yeah, this is basically the only difference, the only thing that I'm covering since the last one. It's kind of cool. So what you want to do is get like combat cook down, or pretty much like anything in the early game, get a weapon on it, and then just turn it into a really big overwhelm unit. So bonus points if you can hit the scout weapon. That is obviously the best one. You want to get scout on one of these, probably the combat cook, so you can forge it, but pretty much anything in the early game, as long as you're hitting it with the apprentice or with the time and dedication. Get the scout one and then turn it into big overwhelm boy, scout attack, attack again, and if it is unanswered, you pretty much instantly win the game, while leveling Ornn in case you don't instantly win the game. So super strong combo, as long as you're playing it at the right time and the opponent doesn't have an out. That's why Ashe LeBlanc is pretty good into this deck, because Ashe LeBlanc can just like freeze us back with Harsh Winds and their own flash freezes, so it's a little annoying. But yeah, in the matchups where you can get away with it, very strong. So that's it for the very quick deck rundown. Definitely check out the other meta reports. Again, I've been through Jax Ornn like so many times. This is just the most up-to-date list that I'm seeing, and it has a little bit of spice cooked in, so definitely give it a shot. Here is a live example game. And for the example game, we're fighting Heimer Norra, the deck that we literally just fought. We know they have Quietus, which is a bit annoying, and also really good at single target removal. Fish Fight is going to be a nice keep though. Flash Freeze, meh. Omen into Blacksmith. Feels pretty nice. Let's go ahead and keep. Fish Fight's good because we can just like kill Heimer or Norra when we feel like it. Omen on 1. Feels good. Bird. We do not want to attack. We're going to hold our Omen Hawk back. Sky Splitter. We may even hold this. Yeah, I'm down to pass. I want to hold Sky Splitter mana into them because they are damage removal. So we can go ahead and play the Apprentice. Nice Omen Hawk buff card. We play Artisan after. And then basically any weapon we develop is going to be massive. Never mind. We got Soul Harvested. We cannot protect. +1. She still dies. Artisan. Norra. Yeah, so what I want to do... we're just going to buff the Omen Hawk. That way it can be an elusive blocker for their Norra. Should force Quietus if they want to deal with it. But being able to stop its open is nice. Okay, there is the Quietus. I would love to deal with this Norra ASAP before the portals, but I don't think we're going to get that, huh? Yeah, it does not look like we're going to get that at all. Blacksmith. Pot of Pain. Amulets. I'm kind of vibing with the Fearsome. Because they don't play Fearsome blockers until big turrets. Soul Harvest again. Okay, well, we have Sky Splitter to stop this one. I can't do a Ferocity, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think fizzling the Soul Harvest is very good value for us. All things considered. So we got one Quietus, double Soul Harvest, Bird, and Norra. Their opening hand was, like, really good. Combat Cook. Fishawak, I'll take that. A little bit of Overwhelm on a buffed unit. It's a, you know, a 6/4. Almost a wild call, even. Double champion? Wow, that's kind of cringe. Isn't it? We want a full send. There's no way they block. If they block with Heimer, they're just weird. Okay, they're just weird. There's absolutely no reason to damage Heimer. No reason for it, but I'll take that. So, wow, they had a really, really good opener. Let's do Apprentice. Probably Amulet and Fish Fight this turn. Portapalooza. They had two Norra? Two Norra, two Soul Harvest, a Quietus, and a Heimer in their top 10. That's really good. That's a little bit ridiculous, actually. So let us strike and unequip. And then I want to put this weapon right back on Combat Cook and buff it. Hey, Spike, sure thing. Okay. New idea. Amulet here. And then Ferocity on open. We're just gonna punch. I mean, we have big overwhelmed dudes, so. Hey. I think we slammed the Jax here as well.
Got more scars than years, and got a lot of years.
This works for me. We might just have like a really strong attack turn. They opened a third Soul Harvest, so I guess maybe not. 3 of them, huh? Alright. So be it, I guess. Now block this. 5-1 is the... Actually, 3-1 can also block. But those are 1 HP units blocking my Fearsome Walled Claw. Yeah, it looks like you're dead, my friend. Couldn't they have blocked with the Tough Turret and live, by the way? But it looks like you're dead, my friend. What in the world? Best hand I ever seen them have. And the last deck I have for you guys is actually a really sneaky one. Look at this. Riven Gwen, coming in with a win rate of 57.97%, but a play rate of 1.78 makes it really, really sneaky, but also super strong. Its best matchups include Norra Bard, Teemo Kate, Lurk, and Nasus Senna control, which surprises me. The worst matchups are Viego Evelynn, Seraphine Janna, Celesbians, and also Seraphine Set. So this one is really interesting. It's basically the deck that is utilizing the new dragon the most. Mr. Enraged Fire Spitter, because this unit gets really, really big with Hallow, on top of already being an 8 attack unit. So what this deck wants to do is in the early game set up Hallow and set up Reforge cards, which are the Riven support package, and get the blade pieces and stuff, and then make Fire Spitter like a big win con if you can't do it with Riven or Gwen. Which there's a lot of synergy going on here with the attack amping that kind of helps all tie it together. So we have Blade Squire coming in the early game, 1 mana 2/1, Last Breath Reforge, so you get one of these randomly, plus 2 attack, Overwhelm, or Quick Attack for the round. Really, really good on attack turns. If you play all 3 of them, then you will get Blade of Exile in hand, and then you can use this for a permanent +2 Overwhelm and Quick Attack buff on any unit of your choice. Next we have Boisterous Host, a classic Gwen unit, 1/2/1 Hallow, so we're going to be ramping the attack stat from the grave as well, super good. 2 Elixir Wrath as a cheeky little win con here. 1 mana burst speed, give an ally +3. This is +6 with Riven level because she doubles any attack boost you give her, right? For the first one for the turn, I do believe. Each round the first time, yes. So this is a nice +6 on top of like a big overwhelm. So you can just win the game with this. You can use it defensively as well in case the opponent is trying to beat over you, and then you can like trade up into stuff. So that can get kind of sneaky as well. Next we have Double Quietus because it is just that good. We're already in Shadow Isle, so this is pretty nice for slowing down the opponent while we get ahead on our win con for only the price of 1 mana. Super good. Next we have the Double Glimpse and Double Hate Spike for the same reason as Heimer Norra. We just want to use these as reaction tools. Our units are probably going to get shot at in general because we're trying to set up and then wombo combo or OTK. So having these in our pocket to just react is super good. Next we have Phantom Butler, another Hallow unit. This one is fearsome, so it's really nice in the early game. Get some cheeky damage in. A little bit of damage does go a long way with this deck. We do plan on pumping enough to OTK, but for the most part, we might be hitting for like 15, 18. So it's really nice to have Butler in here and just get some cheeky damage early. Next we have Rune Squire, another Reforged unit, 2 mana 2/1 with Challenger, so that's really nice. Challenger and 2/0 has really good synergy. You're basically playing a 4/1 if you want Rune Squire to trade into something in the early mid game, and you need the extra damage to do it. That's really cool. He's not very good with Overwhelm, but he is good with Quick Attack as well, because then you're just basically playing like Valor that has the Quick Attack weapon on it. Of course no Scout, but like that's the closest comparison I can think of, so that's pretty nice. Not a bad combo there. Double Might because we want to put this on Enraged Fire Spitter in case we're not on Reforged Weapon and we're not on Kato, so Might's really good. We can also put this on Gwen, or we can give +6 plus Overwhelm to Riven while also buffing something else with Overwhelm, so just like a little cheesy Might goes a long way for us. 2 Fervor to close out certain games in case we try to OTK and they're down to 3 HP or less. We can use Fervor to close out. Foyer for more ramping Hallow, and also getting a nice defensive body. Pretty good on defense turn with Ghastly Band. You love to see that. Next we have a Riven, our first champion. When I'm summoned, if you have the attack token, or whenever you gain the attack token, Reforge, so you get a blade piece at random. Again, if you play all 3, you get the full weapon, so that's really nice. You level Riven if you have played 3 of the little pieces, so she goes up to the 4/5 form. When I'm summoned, same effect. Each round the first time you increase my power grants me that much power. So yeah, she just doubles it. You can give her +4 from just her little blade piece. You can give her +4 Overwhelm and Quick Attack from the Blade of the Exile. So yeah, we're going to be buffing her a lot. So where the combo comes in is if she already has Overwhelm, and then you give her Hallow. So what happens if you have like 6 Hallow in the grave? It kind of sounds like Riven's getting +12. And that's kind of insane, right? So that's where a little bit of the synergy is coming in with the Hallow and the Riven. Then we're going to just be pumping big amounts of damage in one go. So very, very scary, especially if there's no response to this. Next we have Gwen, who's going to be doing some snipping. She's really fantastic if we can get Overwhelm on her. She's going to be healing us up a little bit with the Drain, which is kind of cute. And yeah, so best case scenario, we have like Kato, Riven, Gwen all on the same board. Then we can have like really, really nasty Overwhelm combos where like Riven is getting Hallow and then Gwen is also getting Hallow, and we can like manipulate this with the attack order. So that sounds really, really good. That's kind of what we're going for here. So Gwen loves that. She loves having Overwhelm. Speaking of which, we have Kato, 5/5/4 support. Give my supported ally 3 attack and Overwhelm this round. That's automatically, again, giving Riven +6 and Overwhelm. This is basically just Might on a unit. We want to be giving that to Gwen or Riven or Enraged Fire Spitter or anything else that's just like super buff. What's really annoying is we can't attack with Kato first because he's going to gain the Hallow, and then the next thing to his right is going to get the Overwhelm. So we do miss a little bit of value there. We have to be attacking in the proper order. Otherwise, Kato's going to eat our attack buff, which we don't want to do unless we have Might for him. I guess then it's aight. But yeah, that's going to come up quite often. So just keep that in mind. And then we have Enraged Fire Spitter, who again is kind of making this deck work. So this thing's going to be like a 14 attack dude, and then we can give it Overwhelm. You know, once we get Might on him, once we get Hallow on him, he's just going to be really big. And he also deals 2 to the enemy nexus, which is pretty cute. Just a little bit of a demolitionist built in. And rounding us out, we have Vengeance. Basically the same thing as Quietus, but way more expensive and fast speed. So we can kill pretty much anything we want with this. Pretty nice to just slow down the opponent's developments and continue playing towards our own. And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. And for this example game, we're going to be fighting Elites in Shurima. Very solid deck. Actually one I'd recommend to like newer players too, because Elites are pretty easy to get. So we have Boisterous. I think Vengeance is really good into them. Unless they have Riot Negation, in which case, you know, I have to be a little scared. Quietus is fantastic early game for the Battlesmith, and we can get rid of Glimpse. So Vengeance is like a 50-50. Do we keep it? Nah. We might be able to draw back into it. I think we want to play proactive and play towards our win con more than, you know, sitting back and playing defensive. So we'll get rid of Vengeance and then play it later if we draw into it. We want to make sure we get our combo. This is like a combo deck. We want to make sure we have a good mix of cards. We have the early game Hallow units and Reforge units, and then we have our mid game direct damage pressure. So that's nice. And a little bit of removal as well. The flexibility of our hand is probably the most important. And we also have a champion, which is super nice. Battlesmith, yeah, we Quietus that right away. Right away, Captain. Nice, that's going to slow them down a lot. And then we can play Butler here. Love that. We have Butler and also Hate Spike mana. We want to get one of our Hallow dudes dead soon. That way our Gwen can ramp up during the attack in a future turn. Nice, that's perfect. Hey, we take those. So now we're just going to curve Gwen into Kato, into Fire Spitter, and maybe just win. Maybe, right? That sounds kind of strong for us. We do have to be mindful of Challenger, though. Hopefully they don't kill my Gwen somehow. Be kind of doomed if they do, like, Tattered into blocking Badger Bear. That kills me. Tattered into anything into Form Up. Okay. We're fine. It's just a Vanguard. No worries. If they do a proactive Form Up play, we'll do Hate Spike. This is no problem at all. Or they just kill my Butler. Works for me. Don't gotta do much about that. So let's slam Kato on attack 5. Yep. Kato's going to go up to 7. Gwen is going to go up to a lot, and maybe even level in one shot. That was a pretty good rhyme. Accidental. Oh, interesting. Oh, she's leveling because she's going to snip for 2 and then hit for 8. So that is fantastic. Let's just get a quick Gwen level here. Love to see that. They have to kill my Gwen right now, which they can do with Garen or Jarvan. She is vulnerable, so should be possible. However, unfortunately for them, we might be winning very soon. Fettered Banner and Jarvan, yes. That does make sense. I think I could probably do Hate Spike, kill the 2-1. That doesn't really do much for me, though. Unless I do Fire Spitter into Fire Spitter. I mean, that's kind of broken. I'm liking this. Let's just go ahead and do Hate Spike. We might get a nasty Husk on our Fire Spitter here. Or we play Rune Squire. Challenger. I mean, all of my stuff's already Challenger. That's borderline useless now, isn't it? Isn't it, mate? Isn't that just freaking useless? Let's actually go wide. Overwhelm is nice. Rune Squire again. That is quick attack. Nice. Alright, now we just slam Fire Spitter and mayhaps win. Oh, hello, Riven. We could also go like a Riven route in case we weren't on Fire Spitter, which I think is really cool. So, Fire Spitter here. Now, do not bait a pass here. Yeah, okay, we just win. I figured. With Overwhelm Blade, we always win that. That's pretty nasty, yeah. Huh. Yeah, definitely keep your eyes on this Riven Gwen deck. I'm seeing a lot of potential there. But yeah, that's it for this week's decks. Extra shout out to the patrons on screen. Much love and thank you for supporting. But yeah, to wrap things up, there isn't a lot of time before the next big expansion, so get out there and really hit the grind. Be on the lookout for new champion reveals soon. Definitely drop a sub and a like if you're excited, because I know I am, and I'll be covering the new champions here on this channel. This has been Meta Report. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Laters.